Hey everyone, welcome to Trailing LA Trek Talks.
The first of many.
First of many. My name is JD.
And I'm Sam.
And so hopefully with these talks, at least today, we want to talk to you a little bit about what we did in 2024 and what we have looked forward to in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, 2024 was an incredible year. First of all, Happy New Year's. And
Happy
we want
New
to
Year.
thank you guys for sticking with us through the inception. We started back February 2022, so it's almost been 2 years.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years in February.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
3 years. This time's going by quick.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to our inception, right? Because originally this was not supposed to be a hiking group.
Right.
I think when you just came back from Philly
Right.
from doing your MBA, and we both got into photography, after COVID, and yearning for the outdoors. And as we talked more and more, that quickly evolved into, well, first we thought, hey, let's do a photography meetup, right?
Yeah.
Get people outdoors, meet people, socialize, take some photos, and that quickly evolved into hiking, right? And I think part of it was our background, right? Which, both you and I went to Scouts. We've been in it since we were Cub Scouts, the Weeblos, and then all the way to Boy Scouts. And just the love for the outdoors, we wanted to share that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. So that's where we started, and and that kind of brings us to you guys, right? So we want to say, thank you to start off this. We love planning all these hikes for you guys. We love finding new ones, right?
Absolutely.
It's even though it's LA, there's still a lot to see. A lot of trees, a lot of mountains. I don't think enough people know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for you guys, those who have come in the past, and hopefully we'll get some more of you guys to come out. And just thanks for
Yeah,
supporting
absolutely.
us.
I mean, for supporting us, and we love to socialize. We love to meet new people. So if there's anything or any reason that's holding you back, let us know. We'd love to help out and support.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about favorite hike of last year, 2024.
Ontario Peak.
Ontario
I mean,
Peak.
that was easily my favorite. And part of it, so Ontario Peak was our elevated series, right? It was the second one that we did. For those of you that don't know, our elevated series is taking our hiking to the next level for those that yearn to, take over higher peaks, right?
Do a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more. So Ontario Peak was, almost 13 miles.
Yep.
4,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah, almost 4. Yep.
Yeah, and we peaked around 8,500 feet, I want to say, was Ontario Peak. But what was incredible about it was that the snow was completely unexpected. I mean, we knew that there was going to be a little bit of snow because part of what we do for you guys is we research the trails, make sure it's safe, the latest weather conditions are. And so we knew there was going to be some snow. But when we went up there, it was a winter wonderland, right? The snow completely covered. It was purely safe for us. We didn't need any spikes.
Yeah, no spikes.
Right? But it was, perfect timing. It was like Christmas going out there with incredible views. So
little chilly, but I'll tell you that.
it did, right? It dropped into the 20s with the wind chill, which was, a little spicy. But no, it was easily my favorite. What about you?
So for me, it was Strawberry Peak. So I think we did that a little earlier last year. Just beautiful views up there, and I think we went on a really clear day too, so that helped. I think it was just after some rain, which made it really clear. But what was kind of funny about that trail was there's I think 3 false peaks before you actually get to Strawberry Peak.
It's definitely a case of are we there yet? Are we there? Is this it? They kept going.
Yeah, so some people were maybe a little irked by that, but it was still really fun, especially once you got up there. It was very pretty. So.
Oh yeah, and I remember, we were going along the turns around the hillsides, and every time we wrapped around a turn, it was just incredible panoramic view.
Yep.
Each time. So yeah, that was definitely the top 3 for sure.
Yeah,
for me too.
Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Trailing LA and some goals that we have for this year.
Yeah, like I said before, Trailing LA has been evolving pretty quickly, and so we've set some goals. We talked about it. I think one of them is getting more newcomers, right? We love our family. We love the consistency. In the end, we built this to socialize, meet new people that are like-minded, friendly, and love to tackle adventures. And we love to see more of you, right?
Definitely, yeah. So I think we are a little tweaking is, we've done kind of like that 5 to 7 mile range is kind of our standard. I think we're gonna probably maybe drop that a little bit to get more, newcomers, maybe test the waters of some of the hikes, right? So maybe in that 2 to 5 mile range, maybe less than 500 feet elevation, kind of those, beginner type of, not beginner per se, but just, introduction.
Level, exactly, right? And if it's something that like maybe the 4 miles was a little too much, maybe it's at times an issue, right? Then we'll try to incorporate a little bit more, maybe 3 to 4 or 2.5 to 3. So you let us know what you're waiting for. If there's particular hikes, I think something that we talked about was even bringing back more sunset hikes, right?
Sunset hikes,
We did at least one in 2024.
We did one, yes. Only
the first
one.
Was in 2023, which I think had the most people. We love sunset hikes as well. So if that's what you're waiting for, maybe Friday nights, Saturday nights are easier than waking up early in the mornings. Then maybe we'll try to incorporate more of that.
Definitely.
And then,
we kind of introduced something new. We called it our elevated series of hikes, which is essentially, 8, 10 plus miles, more than 2,000 feet elevation gain. So I think we did 3. Maybe you could count, three officially, and we could probably count like maybe 4 into those from last year. But definitely would like to do, somewhere between 4 and 8 of those, maybe 6 for this upcoming.
So kind of spread our wings a little bit, have something for everyone. Those that just want to go for a stroll, and then ones that are really looking to tackle some heavy adventures. What would you like to see in that elevated series?
In terms of hikes?
In terms of hikes, do you have anything in mind, like a peak?
So I think for me, Mount Baldy is a a solid one. Speaking of Ontario Peak, it's kind of in that same area. But, in talking about Boy Scouts, we did that one way back when. So it'd be nice to get back out there. How about for you?
I love Baldy. That one's amazing. I think San Gorgonio is the highest local peak, at least like in the greater LA. So I want to tackle that. And then maybe not 2025, but certainly in the future of Trailing LA, I want to do Whitney. Right, just because it's the highest peak in the lower 48, it would be a really cool accomplishment for us, an achievement. So
for sure, no, agreed. And other goals, I think for both of us is post earlier, right? So I know typically we're posting about 2 to 3 weeks in advance of the hike. So we'd like to make that at least a month, right? Head's notice for you guys to, so you guys could plan it into your schedules too, right? So I think that's just on us to be a little bit more, prompt on.
So we'll definitely give you guys a little bit more of a heads up.
Any other goals? I think that's
about it, right? We've done like all the LA peaks, entry level.
Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about outside of Trailing LA. We don't live in a bubble, right? There's other peaks and awesome trails out there. Outside of maybe SoCal, is there any hikes that you're looking forward to, either within the states, outside of the states?
There's a lot to see out there. I think we talked about it, and number one for sure is Patagonia, right? It's that bucket list location, which is absolutely pristine. So definitely, I think that speaks to the photographer in me as well as a hiker. So definitely want to do that.
And we're wearing the clothes too.
We're wearing Patagonia. And then the second thing I think a little bit more local is Half Dome, which we've tried before, but we didn't get the permits. You want to talk about that?
So for sure. So if you're interested in Yosemite or Half Dome, right? It's a beautiful mountain or beautiful peak, but there's a lottery system now. Unfortunately, I think as of the last 6 or so years, but essentially it just got so popular, and they needed to have only a certain amount of folks up there because of potential injuries or even people falling off. So there's a lottery, and I think it's I have in notes here. March 1st is when that lottery opens. So it's kind of like you go to the government site and submit your information, and then you kind of find out. I think it's a month later if you got picked. On the dates you selected. So we tried that last year, didn't get it.
But we did get.
We did get Angel's Landing, which is out in Utah. So
how'd you like that, by the way?
So that was my first time. I know you've done it 1 or 2 times.
That was my second
time,
right? Before my first time was back when they didn't have the permit system, so you can hike up to Angel's Landing, do the chain side. this last time we were lucky enough to get the permit. How'd you like the chain slide? Because I know a lot of people, like, it's deemed the most dangerous hike in maybe the U.S.
I don't think it was actually that bad because,
Yeah.
I mean, you see those, I think, YouTube videos of folks with their 360 cameras, right? It looks like they're on this tiny little edge, but there's plenty of room. I mean, there's maybe one little tiny dicey part in there, but overall, beautiful hike. Highly recommend it. That is also on a permit system, like Sam was saying, and that one is every quarter. So I think at the beginning of each quarter is when the lottery opens up, and it's for the next quarter. So a lot more opportunities to get Angel's Landing versus like Half Dome.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, and even if you don't get Angel's Landing, I mean, we were able to do a couple other hikes, right? Which was the Narrows, incredible national park. So definitely recommend. Yep. Anything else for you?
For me, I mean, you know, I was up in Canada earlier this year. I got introduced to Grouse Grind out in Vancouver. So that was.
Tell me about that, because that's a brutal.
Yeah, that one's like, I think, like 2 miles and like, you know, 2,000 plus feet of elevation or something like that. So
on just one way, right?
Just
so
one
you're
way,
really hitting that
all...
2,000 feet in like 1.2 miles.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's quick, so it's pretty much like a Stairmaster. I think that's what it's known for. But in addition to that, I think Milford Track out in New Zealand, southern island of New Zealand. That's one that's on the list. Very pretty hike, not too strenuous, just views on views. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, New Zealand's supposed to be absolutely amazing. So,
so hopefully tackle that this year too.
Cool.
But I think that's it from us. Thanks for tuning into Trailing LA Trek Talk.
If there's anything that you want to hear from us, let us know. I mean, the direction I see our Trek Talks is, reviewing trails, see the direction we're going, kind of share experiences.
Yeah, and even talking to our fellow hikers too, right? Seeing either what they do for a living or why they like coming out to these hikes. So maybe you can get a flavor for who all is out there with us.
Yeah, we'll love it.
All right,
perfect. Well, thanks guys. Have a great 2025. We hope to see you out on the trails.
All right, bye-bye.